This is going to be the first in a series of videos on my 1995 Mitsubishi Delica. It is the 2.8 liter turbo diesel intercooled. It also has the Super Select four-wheel drive with lock-in center differential and auto lock-in front hubs. This is just going to be a quick overview. It's been sitting for a couple months. It is by far, I think, my favorite car that I've ever owned. It does have the parking pole here. I had to machine a new tip for that. I think I might have made more than one. The battery, since I haven't used it in a while, this one went dead and got cold, so I have a new one to replace it. It is a Group 31 battery, which is a massive battery. I believe the replacement that I got is 1100 cold cranking amps. Prior to my purchasing the van, the overflow tank was replaced, as were the upper and lower radiator coolant pipes. I have spare air filters, I have spare oil filters, I have a spare fuel filter, and some other spare odds and ends, a few sets of belts, things like that. I have upgraded both the bright and dim lights to LED. All of the rest of the lights on the entire van are LED as well. All of the marker, turn signal, interior dome lights, everything except for the fluorescent mood lighting tubes that are in there. Those are still just the fluorescent tubes. They work. Also, I have a Webasto Thermo Top Evo. That is a diesel coolant heater. So in the wintertime, what you can do is, there's a timer inside. You can have it set up or turn it on manually, so that about an hour before you go to hop in the van, it turns on a pump, circulates the coolant through it, and it has a diesel fired burner in there that brings the entire coolant loop up to operating temperature, basically, or the low range of operating temperature, 140 I think, or something like that. And so with it running for about an hour, the whole block is all heated up, unless it's just frigid cold outside, like well below zero. In that case, you start it up a little earlier, but it's a great addition. The glow plugs that are in here, it tends to burn through glow plugs pretty quickly. I use quality glow plugs, not the Mitsubishi ones. They are 70 bucks each or something, but I do use Bosch. They seem to only last a season. I have some spares. All of the brakes have been cleaned and serviced and properly lubricated. Interior, so, obviously there's a snorkel installed. It is connected up to the airbox properly. Interior is in good shape. I have these Duluth Trading seat covers on them. They fit perfectly, easy to clean. They actually tighten up the seats a little bit, so the foam is a little bit more comfortable. It is, as I mentioned, the Super Select four-wheel drive. You can go from 2 high, 4 high, 4 high with a locked center differential, and then 4 low. Four-wheel drive in this thing is awesome. The first year that I had it, we had a snow of about 2 feet. The whole city was shut down. I had chains and everything. I thought I was going to need to use them, or at least get to use them, but I had no problems driving all over town in 4 high with the center differential locked. It does have a sunroof, and it is the crystal light roof. One of the shades is not retracting. I think when I had the window tinting put on, they bumped one of the cables off the motor. So the motor's there, everything is still there. I believe it's all operational. It just doesn't open right now with the others. Speaking of the tinting, it is ceramic, whatever, high quality tinting that blocks out it's like 95 or 97% of the UV rays. It's not too tinted on top. All of the windows in the back are pretty dark tinted. The windshield has tinting on it as well, but it is cracked. And so also the sunroof and all the doors, all that's the UV blocking. You can tell the difference. It's incredible. When the sun is shining in the window, if you roll down the window, you can instantly feel the heat on your legs if the sun is shining down on them. Here's the timer for the Webasto unit. As you can see, it's got the captain's chairs. They do revolve 360 degrees. The seat folds up. They come up flat up against the front two seats, and you can fit a sheet of plywood back there. Like I mentioned, all the windows are tinted pretty good. Interior's in good shape. I need to just get everything vacuumed up and cleaned up prior to sale. The rear does have these fold up jumper seats here. They also, let's see if I can get this. So these drop down. There's a stand underneath there that holds them. They fold up, headrests go in there. I do have the Mitsubishi work light. It is magnetic, and it plugs into the socket back here. I have all the tools back there. There's the door for that. It did come with a road flare, and I purchased the LED replacement and adapter from a fellow Delica owner. I can't remember his name offhand. I can put a link in the video to that. It does have a tow hitch installed. I've never towed anything with it. I've just used it for my bike rack. So that is pretty much it for the overview. It's a lot of the good. A couple bad things right now. Windshield needs to be replaced. I would recommend waiting until you receive the Delica, and then you can get a new one from Rising Sun. I think Stephen Lee, he ships those out directly. That way you can have a fresh windshield and won't have to worry about it getting damaged in transit. There is this chip in the center console. I have a replacement for this entire unit. It is Mitsubishi new old stock in the box with the foam and everything, so you can switch that out. The turn signal is a little wonky. I also have a replacement for that, which is I believe it was some new old stock that was found relatively recently, so those can both be fixed no problem with the spares. The alignment needs to be done. The tires are older. They need to be replaced. If you buy it for the asking price, it will include the Webasto unit, new tires, and alignment, but then the windshield replacement will be at your expense when you get it. If you have any questions, or there's anything that you want to see on it or hear more about, feel free to leave a comment below. I did have the entire chassis and frame coated with wool wax. It's a really good product. It's held up really well, and the person that applied it, they did go inside all of the frame rails in the appropriate locations and things like that, so that's really good. There's no rusted out parts of the body or frame that I've run across thus far. All right, so that is it. I'm gonna get this cleaned up and tires aired up here and stuff like that, and get her out on the road. New battery. I'll do a video once I switch out the battery with a cold start, just so you can see that, you know, it starts up, glow plugs work, all that good stuff. Thanks, and like I said, if you have any comments, leave them below.